Digital IDs, the truth about control, consent, and your future. Y'all, there's folks that are freaking out about this, and there's some that don't even know what they are and what their rights are and if they should be concerned and, you know, any of those things. There's a lot of people, there's a mix, okay? Some people are very aware, and the thought about having a digital ID um, is a big no. There's people that don't even know what that means. And I'm just going to share the truth. And I want you to know your options. You got to have some options, folks. Okay. I don't want you to be scared. Okay. Let's go back to, 2020 and how many people thought they didn't have a choice. All right. Let's talk about it. We're diving in to this. Okay. Digital IDs, the truth about control, consent, and your future. This episode, you're going to learn some things, okay? You may want to get a pen and paper. You may want to just, maybe you're listening on the road. I don't know, but I think it's important and you want to know these things. Digital IDs really are they just for your convenience? Because these are the things that they're going to tell you. This is for your convenience. It's going to make it so easy. Or are they a next layer of control? In this episode, I'm going to share and expose the facts about digital identity systems being introduced around the world. You ready? You're going to learn about what digital IDs are, who's behind them, and why they're tied to the central bank, the digital currencies. You'll see the term CBDCs, vaccine reports, biometric data, but I'm going to break down what they're not telling you and whether or not you can say no. I want you to know all the facts, all right? If you have any comments, shoot them, here, and I'll go back and we'll chat. If you know someone that has some concerns that wants to hear about this, please share this out. Subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Let's move on. All right. If you're concerned about your privacy, your freedom, and your future, you need to watch this, okay? We're going to learn what digital IDs are and how they work, how they're already being rolled out globally, why digital ID is connected to your financial control or to financial control, what rights you actually have, and what happens when they say it's mandatory. Is it really? Or are they just going to push that agenda to get you to do something that you really wouldn't have done if you knew all the facts, okay? Whether or not you can opt out and what it looks like, benefits being marketed versus the real risks. Okay, so when they say it's for your convenience, you have to ask yourself this question: convenient for who? Okay, that's important. So you ready to dive in? Let's go. Okay, the digital IDs and how they work. Think of the digital ID like a super powered online driver's license. Okay, it connects your face, your fingerprints, your social security number, and your accounts into one digital profile. These can be stored on your phone or the cloud and are designed to be used everywhere to log in, prove who you are, access services, or even travel. It's like having your entire life on one ID. And that's the problem. A lot of folks, I have family that are like, heck to the no, I just think it's important to know your facts, know your options, and know if you have to do it, okay? Then you can decide. I'm not telling you which way to go. I'm telling you, you need to know your options, okay? You have choices in this world, okay? Regardless if they say it's mandatory. How they're already being rolled out globally. Okay, so countries like Canada, Australia, and many other in the EU are already testing and rolling out the digital ID systems. In the US, it's being done quietly through banks, apps, and new rules. Many states are offering a digital driver's license, and soon you'll be able to get government benefits or travel. Okay. why the digital ID is connected to the financial control. That's the CBDCs. Okay, digital IDs are being linked to new forms of money called central bank digital currencies. Okay, that's what the CBDCs stands for. These are like programmable dollars. If your ID and money are tied together, whoever controls the system can see, track, or even limit how you spend. And that's not a conspiracy, folks. It's already being tested in other countries. So be aware. Okay, what rights do you actually have, and what happens when they say it's mandatory? The truth is that no one can force you to get a digital ID. That's a fact. Just like the jab, they said, you have to get this. Well, I could see through that bullshit. No, I'm not. Okay, many others, there's a lot of others that decided not to. And the ones that didn't think they had a choice. So you got to find some folks like me that find the truth and share it. But what they may said, but they may say you have to, in order to get paid, go to school, receive services, or travel. That's not real consent. The key is knowing your rights and being prepared. And I want you to know they're preparing some alternatives, and I'm going to talk about that. Laws are changing fast, and we need to be aware and ask questions. Okay, don't be afraid to ask questions. A lot of us, we were brought up, I wasn't, my dad, we asked, I was raised by some, warriors, scrappers. We asked a lot of questions, okay? And they encouraged us to ask questions. And don't follow the crowd, be a leader, And so I want you to know that you can ask questions, okay? And you should. So what happens when they say it's mandatory? The truth is that no one, I already said that, right? Yeah, we need to be aware and we need to ask questions. So whether or not you can opt out and what it looks like, you can opt out, but it's not easy, okay? You'll need to have alternative ways to bank, work, or travel that don't require digital ID. That might mean using decentralized apps like Web3, peer-to-peer payments, or alternative systems. The more people that opt out early, the more power we have. Does that make sense? So we are stronger together. We're more unified together. So knowing what your options are is so freaking important. Okay, benefits being marketed versus the real risks. They'll tell you it's convenient. One ID for everything. That sounds helpful, right? But it opens the door to surveillance. Okay, if your ID is tied to your money, your health records, your job, your location, then whoever is running the system can see it all. And worse, turn it off. So what if they didn't like that you talked to someone that was against, say you talked to someone, or they say that you were socializing with someone that is kind of going against their agenda, right? And they go, we don't like that you have a conversation with it. We don't like that you are, too close. You're too close to that person and they're trouble. Okay. They can turn off your money. That's some real control, right? They have control to do things. You're gonna have like a social score. There's all these different things, okay? But they have the right to turn it off. I heard that they actually will have a right in the future that if they decided, because it's gonna be tied to your car, everything, they could turn off your car if you're in an electric car, So know your rights. Convenience isn't worth your freedom, okay? I'm all about knowing the truth and digging for the truth and freedom to choose, okay? It's what our incredible country was built on. When they say it's for your, so when I am going to say this again, when they say it, this is for your convenience, you have to ask yourself, convenient for who? That is such an important question. All right. Before I end this episode, okay, I'm not about telling you what to do. I'm not about, I'm not encouraging you to do one thing or the other. My agenda and my purpose in life is to get you to know your options, know the truth, things that they're not willing to tell you, and allow you to do your own research and you can determine on your own if it makes sense for you. I'm not telling you what to do, okay? You have the freedom to choose. But here's the cool thing. This what makes me so happy, okay? Because we have incredible visionaries and leaders out there that have the backing and the reputation and the knowledge and the power to actually create other options, okay? So while many governments and central banks are developing these CBDCs that are to control everything, that could lead to more surveillance and control. There are visionaries and innovators like Elon Musk, okay, who are pushing for decentralized, freedom-based alternatives. Doesn't that sound amazing? Here's what is really happening behind the scenes. So the CBDCs, that's centralized control. So those are being created by governments to replace paper cash. They allow for programmable money, meaning they can restrict how, where, and when you spend. So think about that for a second too, not just in this situation, but also how you do your banking is going to change. Like if your money is on a, and granted, like you have options to use your crypto and do your banking that way online. You don't have to go to the bank. That's why I am telling you right now, like we're going to see some massive mergers and bank closures, and we don't need all these banks or credit unions. We're going to see a lot of people, companies merging, okay? And the way you do your banking, if you work for a bank, your position's going to change. AI is taking over, okay? Hundreds of thousands of jobs. I don't know, maybe it's a million. There's going to be a lot of jobs, and it just gives you an opportunity to pivot, okay? Use your skills that you have in other ways. And I promise you, you have options, okay? So the CBDCs, it's connected to the digital ID. They can track every transaction and even shut off access. Here's an example. China's digital, do you say yuan? Yuan? Yin? I don't know how you say that. WUAN, the yuan, already has, like expiration dates on money. Okay. Freedom tech leaders are pushing back, like Elon Musk. He's part of a larger movement of tech pioneers who believe in open source, decentralized money like Bitcoin and Dogecoin. Okay. Peer-to-peer finance that doesn't require permission from banks. So that means you can do finance, peer-to-peer finance. I hope you understand what this is huge. Giving back people their economic power over your own money and your own identity. That's what I'm about. Thank you, Elon Musk, and all you other pioneers, tech pioneers, okay, that are thinking about us freedom fighters. Elon's actions in this space: advocate for Dogecoin as a people's coin, decentralized, inflation resistant, okay, integrated crypto payments into X, formerly Twitter, hinting at a future digital market space that works outside of traditional banking system. I'm telling you, things are going to change in the banking system. I can't say that enough. Spoken publicly against government overreach and surveillance, especially financial. I love him for this. I love that he just sees it how it is and says it how it is, and he's making moves to create better, more freedom options for us. So what we're likely to see next, there may be two parallel systems, okay? A control rail, CBDCs plus digital ID pushed by the governments. Then there'll be a freedom rail, decentralized crypto and smart contract forums like Bitcoin, Ethereum, ZBEC, and then is it AAVE? AAVE, okay? So pay attention to those terms or, those platforms. Musk, Jack Dorsey, and others are investing heavily in the freedom rail. Thank you. One where you hold your own assets. You have self-custody. Don't you think you should have self-custody over your money and your assets? I do. You choose who sees your data. Your money can't be frozen or programmed against you, okay? So watch for what they are coming up with, okay? If you are all about freedom, you want, to have the control and own your own, have self-custody over your assets, you want to pay attention to what Elon Musk and this Jack Dorsey and others are doing. Okay, they want programmable dollars, but real freedom comes from permissionless finance, and the smartest leaders are already building it. So I do have for you, before I end the show, I want you to know that I do have 5 things that you need to know before the CBDCs arrive. Okay, this is a freedom over finance. And the central bank currencies are on the horizon. They will change how we earn, spend, save, and access money. I have a little guide that shares 5 essential things you need to understand about CBDCs and how to protect your freedom in the shifting financial world. Okay, 1, CBDCs are not crypto. Okay, CBDCs are digital, but they are not decentralized. They're issued and controlled by governments or central banks. Okay, number 2, your spending could be monitored or limited. CBDCs allow real-time tracking, programmable rules, and the ability to restrict certain purchases. Number 3, financial institutions will change. Traditional banks may lose relevance as governments gain direct access to your wallet. 4, your privacy is at risk. CBDCs can remove your autonomy from transactions, meaning everything you buy may be traced or stored. Okay, and here's the 5th one. There are alternatives. Okay, from self-custody crypto wallets to peer-to-peer DeFi platforms, there are ways to retain autonomy and access new financial systems. So pay attention to that. Know your rights. Okay, this isn't about fear. This is about being prepared. Explore your decentralized tools. Learn about digital IDs. Know your rights. All right, know your rights. Choose systems that align with your values, because in the future of finance, freedom will belong to the informed. All right. If any of you want this PDF that I have, I'm happy to share it with you. Put it in the comments. I always check I just need your email to send it to you, and I can help you with that. And if you have any other questions about crypto or anything like that, if you don't hold any crypto, I would highly recommend that you get yourself a wallet, self-custody wallet, and understand how it works. If you need some options and which would be your best options, I have that information for you too. Isn't that so nice of me? I think so. All right. Let me know how I can help you. All right. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Go be great.